I first heard about Ryan Henderson the same way most people did, through a news story. At first, it sounded like one of those feel-good segments you see at the end of a broadcast. A soldier gets his dog back. Everyone cries. Roll credits. But the more I listened, the more I realized this wasn't just a happy reunion. This was a 5-year fight. Ryan Henderson was an army soldier, deployed overseas. During his deployment, he worked with a military dog named Satan. Satan was a tactical explosive detector dog. In simple terms, his job was to find explosives before they found the soldiers. Anyone who served with one of these dogs will tell you the same thing. The dog isn't just doing a job, that dog is your partner. Ryan and Satan were together every day. Missions, training, patrols. The kind of routine that doesn't sound dramatic, unless you remember where it's happening. In a place where every step could be the wrong one. Ryan later said the dog saved his life. He didn't go into details. He didn't need to. You could hear it in his voice.
Possible pressure plate at grid reference 259er.
Some stories aren't told for attention. They're carried. Then everything changed. Ryan suffered a serious seizure. While deployed in Afghanistan, he had to be evacuated immediately. One moment he was in the field with his dog. The next moment, he was gone. Ryan was flown to a hospital in Germany. That was the last time he saw Satan. Ryan eventually recovered and retired from the army. Like many handlers, he began the process of adopting the dog he served with. He believed that's how it worked. You serve with the dog. You take care of the dog when the service is over. That was always the plan. But what Ryan learned hit him like a second injury. Satan had already been adopted out. Not to another unit, not to a military program, to a family in North Carolina. Ryan couldn't understand how it happened. His phone number and email had never changed. And yet, no one contacted him. No one asked him if he wanted his dog back, and he wasn't alone. After the army ended a program in 2014, over 200 military dogs were adopted out. Handlers like Ryan said they were never informed, never given a chance, never called. Ryan couldn't accept it, not because he thought the family was evil, but because the situation felt wrong. This dog had been his battle buddy, so Ryan kept digging. Eventually, he tracked down the family who had adopted Satan. Their names were Norman and C. Richardson. They said Satan was part of their family now. They said their children loved him, and they made it clear they weren't giving him back. From their point of view, they had legally adopted a dog. From Ryan's point of view, it felt like losing a piece of his life. So Ryan reached out to lawmakers and anyone who would listen. He told his story publicly. When he spoke, he didn't sound angry.
Hello, yes, I'm
He
waiting
sounded
outside the
tired,
building now.
like someone who had
I have
already
the
fought
photos
one
and the
war
petition. You must review my case before tomorrow.
and was now fighting another one, just to bring his partner home. He said one simple thing: he just wanted his dog back. The story aired. People watched. Some cried. Some were outraged. Most assumed nothing would change.
Mr. Harrison.
But something unexpected happened.
I apologize
Ryan
for
was
the intrusion,
invited
but
to
this
speak
evidence
at an
is
animal law
critical.
conference. It wasn't planned. It was just another attempt to be heard. While he was there, people told him the same thing. There's someone here
Welcome.
you need
It's
to
an honor
talk
to finally meet you. Thank you. The honor is mine. I look forward to our
That
work.
person was Marilyn Forbes, a North
wouldn't be
Carolina
here
attorney.
if this wasn't
Ryan
critical.
told her the story. She
The
didn't
documents
hesitate.
here,
And these photos, they show the whole truth. Please.
She
It's a
agreed to
pleasure
help.
doing business with
Pro
you.
bono.
Likewise.
No
We'll be in
payment.
touch.
No publicity. No conditions. She said getting Satan back would be enough. Marilyn filed a lawsuit against the Richardson family. The argument was simple. Ryan should have had the first
The
chance.
lawsuit against you has officially been filed with the court today.
The family said they would
We
fight.
are not
Ryan
settling.
said he was ready for a
We
long
want
battle.
this filed immediately.
Then suddenly, everything changed. Just days later,
The DNA
Ryan
results
got a
came
call
back
from
positive.
Marilyn. She told him Mr. Richardson
father.
had decided to give Satan back.
They
No
decided not to
courtroom
pursue
fight,
it.
just a decision.
It's
Ryan
over.
didn't ask why. He called his father immediately. His dad couldn't find the words. Ryan said, "We have to go now." They drove through the night, from Arlington to North Carolina. A day later, Ryan saw Satan again. 5 years after the last time, there was no confusion, no hesitation. It didn't feel like meeting a pet. It felt like two partners, picking up where they left off. They were both older now, a little more grey, but the bond was still there. On the drive home, Ryan kept looking at the back seat. At one point, he reached back and touched Satan, just to make sure he was really there. After waiting that long, reality doesn't feel real right away. Back home, Ryan tested the dog with commands. Satan obeyed immediately. Even commands in Czech, the language handlers use in the field. Satan hadn't forgotten. Ryan said he didn't know why the family changed their minds, but he was grateful they did. He believed they did the right thing in the end. He said something that stayed with me. If it wasn't for that dog, his son might not even have a father. The story could have ended there. Most stories would, but Ryan said he wasn't done. He wants to help other handlers get their military dogs back. The ones who never got the call, never got the chance, never got the reunion. Now the army is investigating the adoption process, because this wasn't just one dog. It was a system that failed a lot of people. But at the heart of it all, one thing stayed simple. A soldier promised his dog he'd take care of him. And 5 years later, he finally got to keep that promise.
Good boy. I'm so glad to be home with you.